Alright, in this video we are going to see how to create a Readmore plugin. So this plugin is going to be very small, but it's going to be very effective. Many website would actually need this type of plugin. So what it does, now if you see, we have a long paragraph. So this paragraph is too long to read, and this also increases the length of the page. So what we need is, we can just show the first two lines and the rest will be the button which will say read more. Once you click on the read more, you will be able to see the rest of the paragraph. So this plugin, you can see this feature also works multiple times. If let me show you, I am in the Elementor, and if I want to make this text or make this paragraph very large without the space, so this paragraph is very large and nobody wants to read this. So in that case, what we'll do is, we'll just give a class to it. So you see the class you can define with your terms, but since it's my plugin, I'm just naming it as uimonkparaholder. So this is a huge paragraph. You just need to give a class. This is a text widget from the Elementor, and if you see, once you give the class, the paragraph gets wrapped into two lines. Now once I click on publish and get back to the live, you'll see only the two lines, and followed by that you will see a read more button. So once I click on it, you'll see the rest of the paragraph of the text widget. So this is very simple plugin. Here the major focus will be on the HTML, the CSS and JavaScript, rather than the plugin feature. For the plugin feature, we would be using two hooks, which is WP-enqueue script and WP-enqueue styles. I'll let you know what exactly it is in detail. So before that, if you are interested in learning plugin development like this, I would recommend you to visit my website, where you will find the WordPress developer roadmap. So I would recommend you to start from HTML, and then go back to the CSS, and then go back to the JavaScript, then the PHP MySQL, and then the WordPress theme development, and finally the WordPress plugin development. To be a complete plugin developer, you just need to know the basics of the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So what's the specialty of this course is, you will have the price of the course is going to be very cheap. You'll be getting the hands-on experience. Like, if you are interested, you need to start from the HTML. So I have some 58 videos which you will be able to say yourself as a complete web developer by completing this course. And then you need to get into the CSS, where you have a practical experience of having 104 exercises. So each of them is a separate video, and you can add them to your portfolio. And finally the JavaScript. So here again we have hundreds of projects. Once you start from the start from 1, and if you reach to the 100, you would be able to say yourself as a experienced JavaScript developer, and also you'll be having this kind of portfolio into your projects. Now finally, if you are interested, the price is going to be like 100 rupees, 100 Indian rupees. Each course will be of 100 rupees. Finally, now let's get back to the course. So first and foremost thing, what you need to do is, you need to have a plugin on the plugins folder. So this is the plugins folder. I need to make this a new folder and name it as read more. This isn't enough. You just need to have a PHP file inside read more, and it's recommended to have the same name as your folder name, and along with that you need to pass the metadata. Now we need to give the metadata. So it's going to be uimonk read more plugin. The name is going to be uimonk read more, and this is going to be the description, and this is going to be the version, and this is going to be the author. Now what we need to do is, along with this PHP file, we need one CSS file and one JavaScript file. Let's create that. Control N, Control S, style.css, Control N, Control S, script.js. Now we need to link these style and script tag to this particular PHP file. So for that we'll be using the hook let's just start with CSS. We have a hook called WP-enqueue styles. Sorry, it's WP-enqueue scripts, and the function is WP-enqueue styles. So the first one is for the CSS. We need to give some random name so that WordPress knows that this is the handle for this particular CSS, and then we are giving the location of the plugin. So this will return the location of the plugin. The same way for the script, we have to give the handle name and then the location of the file, which is the plugin location along with the script.js. And finally, we are saying that we need a file that need to be loaded first, then our style script.js should load. So that's why this is called the dependency. First it should load the jQuery, which WordPress has by default, and then we have script.js. Sorry, then we need to load our script.js, and we are saying should it has cache bursting. Cache bursting is another topic, we don't have to worry about it. So the next one is, do we need to load our script tag in the header or footer? By default it's false, that means it will load on the footer, and I want this to load on the header, so that's why I'm making this true. So that's it, that's the end of the hook. Then mostly the part is on the CSS. So this CSS is simply for the read more button. So I'm making this pointer, so when I hover on it I want to see a pointer, not the what you see as a cursor right now. So the text exploration is underline, and we are making the color as blue, making the font size bold, font weight bold. And then what we need to do is, let's just discuss about the paragraph. Now if you see the paragraph, we just see only the 2 lines. So this 2 lines is possible because of the which is called clamp. So to use clamp we need WebKit box. So now, as I said, we are showing that we just need only 2 lines, so that's why line clamp. So to use the clamp we need WebKit box, and we are saying that we want the orientation to be vertical and the overflow hidden, that shows only 2 lines, and the rest of them is going to be hidden. So this is for this CSS, as you see on the home, as you see on the web page. And once I click on it, what should happen? Once I click on it, I want to make this unset, and I want to make this display block. So over here I'm making this display block, and I'm making this clamp as unset, and I'm making this overflow visible. Now previously it was overflow hidden. So once I click on the read more button, what will happen is the div with class uimonkparaholder, which once you have this uimonkparaholder, that's when you will be able to see only 2 lines and the rest of this to be hidden. So once I click on the read more button, the paraholder will have the expanded class appended with the help of JavaScript, and then I'm making display as block. So previously it was a WebKit box, that's the reason why we get only 2 lines. Now if I make display block, everything will be visible, and I'm making that I don't want only 2 lines to be visible, I want it to be reset. So that's why I'm setting it unset, and previously it was overflow hidden. And once I click on the remove button, this div will have expanded, and then it will make overflow visible. So that's it. Now let's get into the script tag. Now in the JavaScript I'm using the jQuery. So what jQuery does is, jQuery usually works on page load. So when the page got completely load, I want to find what are the text widget has the uimonkparaholder. So this uimonkparaholder, we will have access to individual uimonkparaholder. Let's suppose we have access to the first uimonkparaholder. What we want to do? So we want to know whether it is expanded or it just show 2 lines. So with this scroll height is the actual height that is without the what do you call, clamp, and this is called with clamp. So we are testing whether the without clamp has more size than with clamp. So what this usually does is, if there is a clamp applied, then have the span tag with text read more appended to it. Now we have it, the span tag with appended read more button. So now we need to add a event listener to this class. Now we would be having a event click listener on this div. So I have stored it as toggle, and when I click it, I want the uimonkparaholder to have the class expanded. If it has a expanded class, then what I have said, just redo it. We are appending the CSS with the help of JavaScript. We simply say that webbox line clamp 2. The same way, if the expanded class is not appended to the uimonkparaholder, then just make this display block and line clamp as unset. So that's it. Once you activate this plugin, this will be enough to make your website para that wherever the class is applied, uimonkparaholder. It's live now. Now if I refresh this, you should see wherever the class is applied. There seems to be an issue. And yes, I have applied text. I have applied the uimonkparaholder to this text widget, and again to this, and again to this. If I click on it, you will see the expanded text. Read more and read less. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening. Meet you tomorrow with another hook or the plugin idea. Until then, if you are interested in learning the plugin development, I would recommend you to choose the course which I am providing. I'll leave the link of the course in the description.